I close everything I do with this. It is your life. Choose it just as it is. Own it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Change it. As long as you can breathe and learn, it can get better. But I've decided to start this with that. Here's why. Because all of us have good, bad, and ugly. And unless and until you understand what all of yours is, then you can't even embrace your life in its totality. So you'll never be able to embrace anybody else's in their totality. It doesn't mean you have to accept everybody's bad and ugly. But if you can understand yours and embrace it, then you can also understand theirs, even if you decide to walk away from it without the guilt, without any kind of shame, without bashing them, because everybody's on their own journey. Conditioning is what causes more issues with people internally and then with relationships than anything else. And the conditioning has happened from others, not from you. So social constructs are not truths. Just because you have a belief about a thing does not mean it is truth. And when you try to hold that thing as truth to not just you, but to everybody around you and different communities and different states and then different countries, that they totally do not believe what you believe. So it's your life. What you gonna do with it? Well, I'm about to talk to you about the kind of conditioning that has been upon all of us, but this is life school and it's up to each of us to change that so that we can only take on the kind of conditioning and recondition ourselves for that which is good for us and the people around us. You ready? I am. Hey, listen, if you enjoy my content, before we get started, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share, and so you don't miss anything I drop, go ahead and click that notification bell. All right, let's go. Hi, I'm Zara Green, and my life has been dedicated to helping people to understand who they are at their core, their temperament, their archetype, that hard wiring that cannot change. But you can change all of the conditioning that has been upon you in order to really live your own truth and to be the best you can be. Live this life on your own terms. And if all that sounds good to you, that's what I do here. And I invite you to stick around and to come on this journey with me. Ready? I am. Social constructs, and we have so many of them, that work against us, and especially because this is life school and we came here as a society, as different communities in order to move things along, to progress along. We learn in our cultures, and our first culture was family. Cult. C-U-L-T, first four letters of culture. It is a cult. You are conditioned for what the norms of that particular family is. So if you can understand that, then you can understand how families are different based on whatever their belief systems are, wherever their levels of understanding is. There are, depending on where you're brought up, and I'm going to use the United States because it's where I was born. In the United States, there are certain things that you have to learn how to do in order to survive in the societies that are the United States. Many of those things have changed from decade to decade. Some things many people wish would change quicker, and they haven't. And we have to get better about understanding that we are here to expand. We are not here to remain the same. There are things that are developing whether you develop with them or not. And if that's the case, then it's absolutely to your advantage to understand what those things are, even if you are choosing not to develop with them or to go with them or to make them a part of who you are. Here is why it's to your advantage. Because it is always to your advantage to have mental flexibility, even if you are not flexing on your own values, if you're not flexing on your own morals. It is to your advantage to understand other communities, to understand other cults, because your family was a cult. It's family, and then into your extended family, then your community that you grew up in New Orleans, we have wards. So one ward to the next could have some different cultures, some things that are more important to it than other wards. Different neighborhoods have different value systems, have different morals, have different things that rank higher for them than other things. So that goes along with the belief systems that you all have. When we start to understand the social constructs and to understand that social constructs are not created for the individual, not even for the community, it's created for the society. But that does not mean the social construct is right. I have several videos that I am about to probably just spit out. Even after this one, I'm probably gonna do a couple, because there are some things that's, quite frankly, just getting on my nerves. So I figure I need to teach it. So social constructs are not truths. Just because you have a belief about a thing does not mean it is truth. And when you try to hold that thing as truth to not just you, but to everybody around you and different communities and different states and then different countries, that they totally do not believe what you believe. It's why I believe people need to be traveling all over. It's why it's always been important to me to travel. It's also important to me to live in different places. I don't live in the States right now because it's important to me to understand different cultures so that I am not stuck in a belief that prevents me from expanding and living my life as fully as I could live it. So, social construct is for the masses at large, and typically for those who want to control and rule the people. So if you have been a good little, this word is going to trigger some people, slave, then, and just doing what they want you to do, don't get mad at other people, because they have tapped into their own individuality and refuse to do what the family wants them to do what the community at large want them to do what a country want them to do, and to jump on different bandwagons that governments are just laying out and saying, follow this. You don't know when the things that are being marketed to you are for your advantage or to its advantage. It being the powers that be, those that rule, those that control all the marketing, especially in the United States, that you see. All of the ways that we have been divided, from race to class to male-female, the hierarchies of better than. What you believe didn't come from you. They are social constructs. And unless you grow beyond the social constructs, start to understand who you are at your core, I'm talking your archetype, because it has nothing to do with all the external stuff that everybody else sees. You see, other people can look at me and see a black woman who makes whatever decisions I've made, from wearing my hair natural to wearing modest makeup to wearing a lot of makeup to wearing my gems to my stones, all the things that matter to me for the reasons that they matter to me. Depending on how you have been conditioned, because we all have, depending on how you have been conditioned, then you make different determinations about people based on what you see, because the marketing is working. The marketing only wants to divide according to its own purpose. And people, when they have been conditioned to just follow along with societal conditionings and the rules that society puts in place. Now, I ain't telling you need to be out here driving and ignoring the red lights, but you need to know that that's not how other societies live. I'm in Colombia. Honey, there are no stop signs. There's just some suggestions that say, pay attention. Okay? So things are not everywhere as they are where you are. And because that's the case, most of you never really get to live according to the way you want to. You live according to the ways you have been conditioned, and then look at other people who dare to try and live their truth and want to keep them in those small, stale places because they dare to tap into their own truths and the ways that you've been conditioned. There are several things we got to check. Come on this journey or not. But we came here to learn and grow. This is life school. And unless you understand it's life school, then you continue to take the same tests and fail. Your relationships suck. You probably suck. And you're keeping the people around you small so that you can stay comfortable. It's time to get uncomfortable. And get comfortable in the discomfort so that you can expand. If you're ready, let's keep going. If you're not, keep scrolling. You will learn to live beyond what other people see. Because I'll be damned if I'm going to care. If somebody looks at me and see something that says I am lesser than in any way and allow that to dictate how I roll. I never have, I never will. Societal constructs are for them. It's time for you to understand who you are, break free of the conditioning and all of the confines, and live. Because I know damn well most of y'all miserable, trying to keep people closed or trying to live in some box that other people have created for you. And depending on where you grew up in the States, then those boxes are different. I grew up in the South, where religion is strong. Y'all, it's a box. I done broke free. You can come along if you want, or you can stay your ass right there. That's up to you. I don't care. It's not gonna stop me from being who I am and living my life. But for those of you who are tired of it, ooh child, let's do this. All right. It's your life. Choose it just as it is. Own it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Change it. As long as you can breathe and learn, oh honey, it can get better. From Colombia, I'm Zara Green. Bye for now.